Hey guys, so as my first video of the year, I just want to say I hope everybody had a really great Christmas time. So with a new year comes a whole bunch of new movies to get excited for. So this list is in no particular order. I tried, but I found it really hard trying to put these in order. But first we'll say some honourable mentions. So first, Superman. I'm excited for this, but I wouldn't say it's the top 10 level excitement. Then Karate Kid Legends. I've seen the original Karate Kid movie. I'm a big fan of Cobra Kai. So when I saw the trailer for this, it definitely got me excited to see it. Nobody 2. I really liked the first Nobody movie and how it was obviously a copycat of John Wick, but it felt like a clever copycat. I wouldn't say it was one of my favourite action movies, but I'm definitely still excited to see number 2. So first off, number 10 is Snow White. Just joking, it's Final Destination Bloodlines. So this is otherwise known as Final Destination 6. So this is a franchise that I found consistently enjoyable. So there's 5 movies that have all different opening death scenes. The roller coaster one is probably my personal favourite. But I feel like that one in number 2 on the freeway has just traumatized a whole generation when it comes to driving past those big trucks with logs on it. Like, even to this day, when I have to drive near one, I tense up. I wouldn't say that these movies are scary, but they are unsettling. And I love that Tony Todd is going to be returning. Apparently, this is going to be about a fire, which, we'll see how it goes. It's not what I would have chosen, but like I said, it's been consistently entertaining. I wouldn't say there's a bad movie in the 5 of them, so I have faith in them. And I feel like this franchise is just the perfect time capsule of that 90s, early 2000s horror movie vibe that feels so specific to that particular time period. And I just love rewatching these movies every few years. So I'm really excited for number 6. So number 9 is Ballerina. So this is a spin-off movie from the John Wick universe. So the John Wick movies have had another spin-off in the Continental TV show, but I really just couldn't get into that. It didn't feel like it was set in the same universe as the original John Wick movies, but with the Ballerina trailer, it definitely feels like this is the same universe. We're going to have the Baba Yaga in this. Obviously, it's just going to be a quick, a brief thing. It's not going to be like he's going to be your main character. That's obviously going to be Ana de Armas's character, as it should be. This is her movie. And it feels like, from what we've seen, it's going to be her portraying a character that's strong without going full-on Rey Skywalker girl boss, strong without shoving it in your face. So I'm really looking forward to that. They've done a lot of reshoots with this, but I think that's a good thing because it shows they're not just trying to rush it out, they're trying to make a good movie. Number 8 is Jurassic World Rebirth. So I enjoyed all 3 original Jurassic Park movies. I would say Jurassic World is one I've really enjoyed. I've rewatched that quite a few times. But after that, I just felt like it went downhill for me. Like, there were moments in the second Jurassic World movie with Lockwood Manor that I thought had a lot of promise, and the whole concept of a black market dinosaur option was intriguing. But number 3, with all the bugs, the locusts, and there was nothing redeemable about that movie. So as much as I love seeing Jeff Goldblum and his little quirky remarks, I've got to say I'm happy that nobody is coming back and we're doing a complete reset on the franchise. And at this point, that's the only way I really see it going forward, just giving it new life. So it's obviously going to be a concept we've seen before, a family stranded on an island, but that's exactly what I want from a Jurassic World reboot type movie, so I'm excited for this. Number 7 is Frankenstein from Guillermo del Toro. I can never say his name, I'm not even going to try. So he's brought us some of my favourite horror movies, like Crimson Peak. He helped write that movie, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, which I feel like nobody's even heard of, but they're movies that when I'm in that gothic horror mansion type mood, it's really good. So when it comes to Frankenstein, I've never really been too interested. I have seen that Daniel Radcliffe one, which was okay, but I feel like Guillermo can definitely put a spin on it that has my attention. The only thing I don't like is Jacob Elordi. I feel like Mia Goth definitely has the quality of someone who would fit in really well in this universe, just like Anya Taylor-Joy would be another good pick. But Jacob Elordi, no, there's just something that's not right about him. Give me Bill Skarsgård. I feel like he'd be a really good pick, but either way, I'm excited for this. So number 6 is Wicked Part 2, Wicked for Good. So I'm not a huge musical person. I do have ones I really enjoy. The Greatest Showman, Grease, The Sound of Music, but they're still definitely not my favourite genre. But I do love fairy tales and the whole Oz aspect of it. Like one of my favourite shows is Once Upon a Time, and they have a whole season arc about Oz. So going into this, I was excited, but I wasn't very excited. I definitely didn't think it would be a standout of 2024, but it definitely was. I enjoyed Wicked, and I'm excited to see the continuation and where they go with the story. So number 5 is Anaconda. So I'm a huge creature feature fan. I love the first 2 Anaconda movies. So when I heard they were going to make a new one, I was surprised because it feels like this is a franchise I wouldn't have expected Hollywood to care about, but I'm really happy. But then we got that little, well, it wasn't a teaser, but that little video on YouTube with Paul Rudd and Jack Black. Don't get me wrong, I like their movies. I think they're good actors, but I don't feel like they have the vibe for an Anaconda movie. It feels like it's going to be really campy and meta and funny. And look, the first 2 Anaconda movies definitely had those humorous moments that worked well, but it was mainly a straight up action movie. And I really wanted them to lean more into that action horror aspect of it. And it feels like they're going in the opposite direction. So I am a little disappointed, but at the same time, we're getting a new Anaconda movie. And with the special effects we have available now, the Anacondas have to look better than they did back then. And even back then, they actually looked pretty good. Like, I've rewatched them fairly recently, and it does stand the test of time. So I'm still excited for this. So number 4 is Beneath the Storm. So I didn't even know anything about this movie until recently. This is another creature feature about sharks. With shark movies, it's always very hit and miss. So this movie is about a coastal town that has a hurricane which sets off these sharks, and this sounds a lot like this Australian movie Bait, which is another movie I feel like people haven't really heard of. And yeah, it's a good Aussie movie if anybody wants an Australian movie to watch. And it's a pretty good shark movie, so this feels like it's going to be like that, but with a probably bigger budget thrown behind it. So yeah, this is the year of the creature feature. Sign me up. So number 3 is The Conjuring Last Rites. So this is going to be the last Conjuring movie in the main timeline. We're getting a spin-off TV show, but still, the Warrens are the heart of this show, and I really wanted them to have a good send-off, but unfortunately we have Michael Chavez directing. Look, the first 2 Conjuring movies and Annabelle Creation are some of my all-time favourite horror movies. When this franchise is good, it is really, really good. But unfortunately, Michael Chavez keeps ruining it. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm being too harsh, but look, if he'd only screwed up one movie, yes, I'd be willing to give him another chance. But he had The Curse of La Llorona, then The Conjuring 3, then The Nun 2. This guy with almost no experience, he's only directed a few shorts and a Billie Eilish music video, has been given this major franchise, screwed it up, and then been given opportunity after opportunity, and now he's getting another movie and I can't wrap my mind around it. Like, he must be the most well-connected man in Hollywood. That's all I can think. So this movie, I guess it technically shouldn't be on my list because I feel like I know what to expect, but at the same time, it's a Conjuring movie, so I still can't help but be excited. So number 2 is The Black Phone 2. I was a big fan of the first The Black Phone movie. It's one of the best horror movies I've seen come out in quite some time. It was set in the 70s, and a lot of movies set in the 70s just look like people are LARPing, but this one, it just felt so authentic and immersive, and all the acting was really good. It was one of those horror movies that really has heart behind it, and I'm excited for the second one. That brings us up to lucky last. Number 1 is Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So Five Nights at Freddy's, I wouldn't have put this on my list at all if it wasn't for one thing. I've seen in an interview that this one is apparently going to be scarier. And that's exactly what I wanted from the first movie, is for it to be scarier. So if they're really going to go in that direction, I'm excited for this. So let me know what you guys think down below. What's your personal top 10 list? I'd really like to know what you guys are excited for. If you could help me out, hit the like button, consider subscribing. That would be great. I'll see you in the next video.